What's up, people? How's it going? So this is obviously a pretty self-explanatory video, as you can tell from the title, but I am going to try and give you a lot of stuff to think about just because that's just how I am. I like to give people things to think about in depth. So obviously the main question is something that's been brought up consistently ever since the Universal Survival Tournament arc was announced. Not the tournament itself, but the consequences of the tournament. And that is the question regarding Goku's characterization and mental health. Is he so obsessed with trying to become stronger and stronger, to break his limits each time, to fight tougher and tougher opponents, that it's become unhealthy? That's something that I've seen the fandom bring up over and over again, to the point where it's like, now that the stakes are so high, where in which the consequences of the tournament are universal destruction, right? It kind of does imply that he will be responsible for some type of genocide, all right? And that's just putting it point blank. And, in the beginning, when the rules and the consequences were announced, it was interesting for me because I watched Beerus. He was freaking out. He was very concerned. Goku was alarmed, but he wasn't nearly as freaked out as Beerus was in that episode. And keep in mind, all right, Beerus is the god of destruction. So it's his job, literally, it's his role to go around destroying stuff. And Goku's not even nearly as shocked as he is. Then in the past episode, which I've rewatched because it was such a good episode, you see him looking like this. Take a look at his facial expression, all right? He knows the consequences at this point, and he's truly 100% committed, all right, to his goal of fighting tougher opponents and stronger people, because he's so curious, all right, with no regard, at least from what we can tell as of right now, with complete disregard to any of the consequences that can come from one of the universes losing. And so the question is that type of behavior okay? Is it acceptable? And if so, if yes, why is it okay and why is it acceptable? Because I kind of get the feeling that most people would answer that it's okay, simply because, oh, well, it's Goku. It's Goku, that's how he is. Now, all right, the complaints about this type of, I wouldn't call it new characterization, but the obviousness of his obsession has become more and more apparent now with Dragon Ball Super. Let me tell you something, right? When Screw Attack was doing the death battles, right, the first and the second, right, they got a shit ton of complaints, a shit ton of comments, hate comments on their videos, bunch of dislikes. It was the comment section for those videos as of right now is complete cancer, even till this day. And one of the things that I kept reading over and over again was that, Superman is just a bad character because he's boring. There's not much to him. And let me tell you something, all right? I did not grow up with Superman. I got to know him when I was a teenager, like when I was in high school. So I know Supes a little bit, and I will say that he's not that complex. He's not that complicated of a character. He's a farmer, all right? He's the typical Midwestern farmer, typical GI type of guy, he's tough. If you remove all the god powers, god abilities, yeah, that's right. He's a simpleton. Simple guy. He works for a freaking newspaper organization. Not a whole lot going on there. However, I did not see a lot of people saying, oh, but on the other hand, Superman's boring, but Goku's completely freaking OCD. He's obsessed with getting stronger. He's pretty much addicted, all right? And I think the reason why people are becoming more and more aware of this conduct, all right, is because of one simple reason. The English dub of Dragon Ball Z, in terms of there's certain things that Goku says, they're completely, I don't want to say they're mistranslations, but the meaning is completely different than what he says in the original Japanese. I'll give you a great example, all right? In the Saiyan saga, when him and Vegeta are completely done, when they can't even get off the ground, Vegeta can barely move, right? Okay? In both the Japanese and in the English dub, Goku stops Krillin from killing Vegeta. That happens in both versions. However, all right, the reasons for why Goku tells Krillin to spare Vegeta's life are completely different. Absolutely different. Oh my, the difference is, it's not even funny. In the English dub, and this is why I was talking about Superman, they kind of do make him seem as if he tells Krillin, Krillin, don't kill Vegeta because you have to show him mercy. Remember what happened to Piccolo? He was an enemy at first, but then we turned him good, and now he's a friend. He even gave his life to protect Gohan, like all that stuff. And so it made it seem like he was telling Krillin not to kill Vegeta because he wanted Vegeta to learn the lesson of mercy. Not to be a dick or anything, but he does kind of sound like Naruto forgiving Obito for everything he did, all right? In the hopes that he'll sort of like reevaluate his mentality and come to his senses and be like, yeah, I was doing some nasty, ugly shit. That's in the dub version. In the original Japanese, Goku literally tells Krillin not to kill Vegeta because he wants to fight him again. Because every time he meets a strong opponent, he gets excited. He even says something like his heart, skips a beat or some shit. He leaps of excitement, all right? So it's this euphoria, this excitement of wanting to fight new people, this obsession, this addiction. He gets a high out of these confrontations. And he literally tells Krillin, I know it's not the right thing to do. He even says it himself. He's being selfish, all right? And so the point here is that if you grew up with the dub, chances are you kind of got this molded through the dialogue, through the changes in the dialogue. You got a more Superman-ish version of Goku, which makes perfect sense for distribution purposes because, if Superman is already popular in America, you would want, this new anime at the time, something that was new. You would want to tweak it so that it's something similar to something that's already popular in a way. So that makes sense. But now with Dragon Ball Super, which we don't, it's the same. We have the dub, but it's like way behind, right? Now we get these episodes in Japanese. Most people follow the Japanese release of the anime. So now you got this contrast between what Goku originally was intended to be in the Japanese versus that old version that I'm pretty sure a lot of people grew up with from the dub. But then again, there's also other examples of Goku being like very reckless, outside of the example that I just gave. For example, he also gave Cell a Zenzu bean because Cell wasn't at full. He literally gave Cell a Senzu bean. Just think about that, right? Because he wanted him to fight at full strength. Also in Resurrection of F, Whis had to turn back time so that they could prevent Frieza from destroying the Earth, because that shit got way out of hand, right? And now we have the Universal Survival Arc, which kind of links Goku to like massive, just massive scale genocide. Now, with that in mind, you also have to remember, and I don't know, because when people call out Goku for these things, right? It's also, I think, important to remember that it's a fiction, so the consequences aren't really that big. And I'm not really sure if the moral consequences in the universe of Dragon Ball are even that high, considering the fact that the Dragon Ball universe as a whole, and as a fan, you kind of become desensitized to death, all right? Because of the Dragon Balls and the fact that you can wish people back to life, right? So the consequences within the story aren't as major or as big as other series, say like in Game of Thrones or Attack on Titan, right? People actually die in those series if they die. There are no do-overs. Whereas in Dragon Ball, we've kind of, gotten accustomed to like, oh, you can wish them back, not a big deal. But then, given the fact that we know that the ability to bring people back to life exists in the Dragon Ball verse, does that make it less wrong when a lot of people die? That's another issue to consider. And going back to the whole Goku and Superman thing, yeah, like Supes is a pretty like average Joe type of guy. But he's not obsessed with becoming stronger, and I think that's part of the issue, is that he simply is strong. Like, he just is. He is Superman. Whereas Goku is like, I need to get stronger, and that's part of his character. What I've seen is, I think the fandom is beginning to become split in terms of like just giving Goku a free pass in terms of this type of mentality and saying, it's whatever, not a big deal. And then people saying like, getting these red flags, just like this is some fucked up shit you're doing, Goku. Be careful. And that's really the main discussion here, is that is this something that you think is getting out of hand, or is it something that you think has in some way, shape, or form always been there and you're willing to forgive Goku for? All right? Because in my opinion, I do think it's getting a little bit too ridiculous, all right? And it's not being addressed properly. But I hope, and this is my hope, and it was also kind of a prediction, that whoever is the top tier guy, aside from Goku and the people from Universe 7, I hope that there is maybe that bald guy with the red suit can be a moral opposition to Goku in terms of not just him fighting, but also telling him, The way you're seeing the world is screwed up. And you should not be able to say, I'm okay with so many people dying at the benefit of my own strength. That's not cool. And so I hope that that's what this new character brings to the table. That he's morally opposed to Goku from an ideological standpoint. Because really, the best fights, are not just action-based. They are about ideologies clashing against each other. So I really want to see that. So please let me know what you think about this whole thing down in the comments section. Leave a like. I really appreciate that. If you would do that, that would be really good. And subscribe, for more Dragon Ball related stuff. Super reviews on Saturdays. Bye.